Hey guys, it's Dat-Gamer-Guy back with another Let's Play, and today we're doing a game called Scrap Mechanic. Now, I've made a few Let's Plays on this, but today I'm going to be doing more of a tutorial on how to learn the basics of Scrap Mechanic. And if you're new to the game, I'm going to try and cover most of the topics on this world. Now, first off, when you get into the game, it'll say load game, new game, create terrain. Now, this is new, create terrain, because the world just actually came up. Oh my goodness, we can make our own. I'm actually just gonna get into this on a different video. But anyway, we're gonna learn the basics of just how to play. Help if I could actually type. Alright, there we go. So you just go ahead and create world. I'm sorry if I sound really pipsqueaky, but I'm still really sick. It's kind of bad because right over every break I go on for school, I get really sick, and I don't understand why. But while it loads up here, and it might depend on your computer how fast it does this. Got it. Awesome. So we're in. Excuse me. And I spawned on the side of a mountain. This doesn't usually happen. Well, okay, let's jump down here. Now, they don't have survival yet, which is fine. But you're in this open world, and it's really neat because anywhere you go, walk over here. Anywhere you go, you can build whatever you want on whatever you want. And so if I open my inventory, you can see these are all the items I have. And I can choose from all these items to make things, of course. And now I'm just going to look, and I'm going to take my thing, and I'm going to previously spawn in something I've already built to ride around. I didn't build this, someone else did, but I really like it. So you can build cars such as this creator did. And I'm just going to drive over to a flat terrain to show you what you guys can build. And the terrain is really pretty. And I'm going to talk about graphic settings and all of this too, because looks really good over here. I know and the physics in this game are great, by the way, but some graphic settings might be different for certain people. Right here looks like a nice flatter ground. There. So let me go into options here. The graphics. Now on my computer, I have them all set on high because I have a beast of a computer. But for some people, you might have to turn it down. I do have SSAO turned down. I don't know what that means, but you guys can let me know in the comments below. I have that turned down. Basically, what that does is it creates a little bit more in the background here, a little bit more texture to it, but it also slows down my world. Right now, it's running at 102 frames per second. Probably won't look like that through YouTube because it does kind of jump it down a little bit but from the FPS count at the top of my screen, it's running at 105 frames per second right now, which is really nice considering how big this game is. So let me go ahead and place down my lift. Now the lift is basically what you can build on, and you use your arrow keys at the bottom of your screen to push this up and down. Now of course physics don't apply to what you already built until you right click and hold, and then of course all gravity and stuff gets applied. And then to delete items, you click and you see the blocks turn red. You can just pull across with your little plus in the middle of your screen and let go, right click, and once you're done. And to use items, you'll see it press E right next to W on WASD. And you can see right here, thank you. I don't know how to pronounce that for building this car, but it's really good. And I've built some other things in here, a few other things. But first, let's get started on how to build a car. So step 1, cars are always better with the wider body because then they have a less chance of tipping over. So about like this, you want to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks over. So this is about the normal car width and length. Of course, then you use your arrow keys to move it up and down. Now there's lots of cool little things you can use on here, and I'm going to explain this tool in just a minute. But bearings, everything spins on bearings. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create steering for your car. And of course, most cars have steering in the front. So you're going to want to place your bearings on the bottom of the car because your wheels are going to be turning left and right. Now, of course, you want to build down a little bit because your tires are going to have to be placed here. And this suspension comes in on this part where it really just depends. Do you want suspension for your car or do you not want suspension? Now, you can't place suspension right on a bearing, but you can right on a block. So then you'd want to build on the suspension. So just like this, if I delete it, you can see since they're spinning, because you're going to have to attach the bearings to driver's seat to actually give them steering. But you can see, and if you click on this, you can adjust the firmness of the suspension. And to get your creation right back on lift, you just left click and left click wherever you want it on the land. But if I raise it up here, and I want to build the back wheels. So the back wheels don't need to have steering. It all depends on how sensitive you want your steering to be. You just go ahead and do the same thing with both down. And of course, here comes the wheels. So if you look at these two different scenarios I built, this wheel is not going to spin because, of course, it is not on a bearing. It is directly placed onto the wooden block, which cements it in place, so it will not spin. This will, because as you can see, the blue circle represents the bearing it is on. So you remember, right-click and hold to delete. You want to place suspension on the outer part of the blocks on all four sides. Of course, then place your wheel. And now all your wheels are on, you are pretty much ready to go to let your car drop. You can see these are just spinning around because it's going downhill. But now, because your bearings on here are still moving. So go ahead, as you can see, all the wheels are spinning, they're doing good. And then, of course, this one's not because it's not touching the ground. Let's go ahead and bring this back up and lower it down. Now you can lower beneath the world, but I would not recommend letting go when it's on the road because it gets stuck a little bit. But once you're done, just raise it back up. But here are your car seats. You have two types of car seats. You have one with a big seat, and you have a biker's or driver's saddle. This one is 4 blocks wide, and then what I call the biker seat is 3 blocks wide. So you can kind of use this in cars to make it in the center if you're kind of weird like I am about that. I like my things to be square and center, or else it kind of drives me crazy. And it's not all about what drives you crazy too, since physics and gravity do apply in this game. If a block is way off centered, because you can see how it says lightweight right over there in the corner, lightweight, heavyweight. These do apply when it is in perpetual motion, as it is going forward. Now, you can see, now if I had a whole bunch of heavy weights on this side and nothing on this side, when I would take it off the lift, it would start to lean more on this side a lot more because there's a lot more weight on this side. And of course, then the motor is going to be a little offset, or it's actually perfectly centered. But there's 2 different types of motors, now that we're actually getting into car talk. There's a gas motor, which goes really fast and doesn't have much power to push. It can't push very hard, but it does. Oh, it's kind of freaking out. Doesn't push very hard. Excuse me. But it does go really, really fast. And there's another type of motor called an electric engine. This one powers bearings, an engine with fixed power and adjustable speed. Excuse me. A slow engine with lots of strength can be connected to a driver's seat or triggers. So, what's really cool about this one is I keep getting that feeling like I'm going to sneeze, but I'm not going to. Excuse me, I'll be right back in just a second. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that quick pause. But anyway, what I was saying, this engine goes a lot faster while the driver's engine goes a lot slower but has a lot more power. So about the connecting tool, this, you can see the different dots. Now, it's a lot more simple than it seems. So you want to click on one dot, whichever you're trying to connect. Right here is the bearing. This blue dot shows the bearing. You're just going to drag it up to the orange, which represents the engine, and there you go, it's connected. And you can see the arrows, and this is which way the tire is going to spin. So of course then it's going to spin backward, this way forward. And you just want to drag and let go on every single bearing to your car. Now according to which side it's on, which side the bearing's facing, you're going to see this one is going forward, this one's going backwards. So you want to right click on that to change it. Going forward, going forward. So you're all good on that. Whoops. So, of course, you want to just click E to get your seat. Now, if I press W, nothing's happening. Of course, your wheels are still just spinning. This is because you did not connect your motor to your seat. Now, to fix this, it's super easy. It's the same click and drag as I showed you. Of course, you want to click on your seat and drag it to your steering bearings. And that fixes that one, and the same thing with the other one. So it instantly made these straight. So now if you click A and D, yours will turn. Now I need to switch mine because when I click A, it goes opposite direction. But see, now it is turning to the right direction. And of course, then you want to click and drag your motor to your seat, because then by clicking W and S, you'll be able to go forward and backward, which is really nice. So if we click E on our engine, you'll be able to see gas engine. This is the range on how fast you like it to go, and it's cool because in the background here you kind of see the little thing moving back and forth. If I go like this, you see it moving back and forth. But I usually go about halfway, 3 from the top for a car this size, and you can see how it works. So you can also just tap W to make sure all the wheels are going in the right way. Then once you're ready to go, and you've got a well-working car that you can now drive around in your world. And you may notice sometimes it tips. That's because you're really top heavy in this car. So you click on your suspension and you just want to lower it down to maybe 2. And of course this gives it a lot more bounce. Did I do that one? Yeah. This gives it a lot more bounce. So now it won't tip over as easy. But that was just how to create a simple car, and of course it might roll over, but if you really want really easy suspension, you can even go down to 1, and this will really give your car a lot of room to bounce on. See, if I go forward and I stop, it doesn't really flip, because you see, because your tires have a lot of room to move up and down with the tire actually still staying on the ground. Now, of course, this is not award-winning car. This is just a simple little get around, first time playing scrap mechanic kind of car to help you get around the world. Now, of course, I will show you some other things. This was how to build a car, and I will leave it down in the description what time this appears in the video. How to build a car. Number 2. This is how to build a little... You don't really need to build a house in this game, because of course you don't die and you don't have hunger yet. They're still coming up with a survival world. That's still coming out. But next I will be showing you different lights and different of some of the features you can do. Now, I will be showing you some of the most commonly used items in Scrap Mechanic, or which I use the most. So, number 1, you have this tool, paint tool, welding tool, hammer, lift, and this is the handbook. This contains all the information you need to know. So I'm going to go ahead and open this, and I'm just going to take a minute. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to slowly read through or click through all these pages, and so you can see what you want to see, and you can skip through the video in different parts. So, alright, I'll be right back. And this right here, the thruster will be a concept we'll be covering in just a few minutes. And this will be too. And maybe this. But not this, because this is really in-depth, and this is something you kind of want to learn once you're getting more into the game. Make sure I didn't miss any page. Oh, right here. Here's the second page of the controller. Alright, so now that I went through the whole book, let's start off with, what did I say I was going to go through first? Thrusters. Let's start off with thrusters. Now, we're not going to watch the video like it's set up in the corner, because that takes you to a whole nother YouTube part, which you can do when you're in the game. So let's go over thrusters. Now, thrusters are, of course, what you think, pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you attach a thruster to a block or item, you turn it on, and of course, it flies it in whichever way the thruster is pointing. Going to clear all this stuff into the inventory. Now let's grab our thruster. Now, the thruster is a very, very cool little item. It's very helpful. Basically, this thruster will be pushing down this way. So if you it's kind of hard to think. So let me show you a demonstration of a thruster. So basically a thruster, of course, like I said, is an item that pushes something without actually having to be a motor, and it's very powerful. So of course you would attach just by clicking and dragging to your thruster. I'm going to keep this on just number 1. So as you can see, when I turn it on, it spins the way, now, how am I going to turn that off there? But it spins pointing in the direction away from where all the blue stuff comes out. So all the gas. So if I block it there, it's trying to move away from where it's spitting out. So basically, it's moving toward the end of it. So if I let it go, there it goes. Now I want to shut this off. Good luck doing that. There. Now if I just take this little contraption apart, just right click, right. You can build some pretty cool things with this, and I've built something for this video to show you. Where is it? Right here. I call it the Wow, Just Wow, and you'll see why I call this in a minute. Now this did take a lot of complex work to figure out. It's more of just kind of accent work than actual how it works, because I did a lot more of like just seeing of how, more of aesthetics to it. So if I'm going to click the button, the thrusters will eventually shoot me up into the world. Bam! And I hit the top of the world. Now if I let go, I can actually hop out, because the thrusters are still going. And I eventually start falling out of the world. Oh no, I left my seat. But now I'm falling back towards the world again. Man, we were really high up. There we are. Now we're heading back down. Now we're back on planet Earth. Awesome. Wait, can I get under it? Oh, it hit me right on the head. Let's place it back on the lift and delete it. But this basically covers thrusters. This will be a short segment of the video just because thrusters basically push things forward. Next item. This one may take a little bit longer. This is called, let's go to the sensor. This actually won't take that long at all. I was thinking of something else. Sensor is really easy to go over. It's basically, stay in front of it, senses you, and by clicking E, you can adjust how many blocks away it will see you. So now it sees me from far away, and if I went in and changed it to 1 and stuff, it'd see me a lot closer. But if I attach a light to this, of course I click and drag to it, and I stand in front of it, senses me and turns on the light. And you can use this for a lot of things. So if you click on it, there's different modes. There's button and switch, and you can turn sound on and off. And you can turn colors on. So if I... Oh, so that's only if it senses turning colors. But that's a more complex thing. So if I have sound on and switch, it'll see me and it keeps it on instead of seeing me and then not seeing me. Sees me again, turns it back off. Pretty cool. So this basically just covers sensors. Really easy concept. Now let's move on to controllers. Now controllers are a little bit more of a complex area, and controllers work with pistons and bearings. So if I build out here like this is demonstration. I built bearing down a little bit. Of course, you won't have to do this to learn, but this is just going to teach you how controllers work. So if I let this go, now let me actually build it out so it'll stay flat and it won't tip over. Over on this side, go out, let go of my left. Basically, controllers are really cool because, let me get a controller. There. Of course, you can see, now if you click E on it to edit, of course, it says no bearings connected because we currently have not connected anything to it. So if we click it and drag it to this bearing, it's going to flick it up into where it was supposed to be, where I originally put it. And of course, then connect this one to it too. Then it's right where I built it. So if you go back in the video, I built it straight out, but of course, when I let the lift go, gravity went to it, and of course, since this wasn't connected, it just fell down. But now that it's connected, you can see this is name 1, this is 2, and it has a red arrow pointing down this way, blue arrow pointing down this way. Same with this up here. So if I just connect this to a switch quickly, turn it on, nothing happens. But of course, this is because I did not program what I want the bearings to do. So if I look at bearing 1 right here, I go into here. If I want bearing 1 to move 90 degrees blue, so that's going to be coming around this way. So this is going to be spinning towards this way right here. So now if I click it, spins 90 degrees forward. Now I can go to number 2. I want it to go 90 degrees opposite. It'll push up. So now if I turn it off, now this is going to go 90 degrees forward. This is going to go 90 degrees down. And then it kind of lifts you up a little bit. And this is just a little demonstration of how you guys can use controllers, sensors, thrusters, and how you can just build a simple little car to get into things. Hopefully this little tutorial just covered some of the basics on Scrap Mechanic. If there's anything I did not get to cover, go ahead and let me know. I will, if I need to cover some more things or if I forgot to leave out things, go ahead and just let me know in the comments and I will create another video covering all the topics I have not covered already, because of course I want to make you guys as most informed as I can on this game, because I personally think it's a great game. I love it. I'd put it right up there with Minecraft. It's a pretty high standard, but in my point of view, I think it's a great game. But thank you guys for watching so much. Sorry I kind of sound really squeaky and sick. Hope I get better, and I hope your guys' Christmas was awesome. I know definitely mine was. Got to spend a lot of time with family, and of course focus on our Savior Jesus Christ was just born. So I hope you guys enjoyed Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate, and just have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Of course, let me know what I didn't miss, and I will leave all the links in the description of what times certain topics happen. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.